This is our project called Trendy, and it's going to track trends and slang words over time. So our project is an interactive visualization of the popularity of American English slang words over time, and it's going to be based on Google searches. Why do we care about slang words over time? So we care because we want to inspect cultural evolution that occurred due to the introduction of the internet and the World Wide Web. We also care because these trends can show us what people care about and when, based off of events, pop culture, fads, and cultural shifts. And finally, we are millennials, and millennials do shape the future of our culture and of our language. The concept for our project is a visualization. You can track the popularity of different words compared to each other over time. So where do we get our words? Here are the word sources. We got them from sources such as the Huffington Post, Urban Dictionary, the Odyssey Online, and Pop Sugar. And then some of them we just came up ourselves based on what we've experienced in the past 10 years. So where do we get our data from? Our main source was Google Trends. Here's an example of a Google Trend comparison. Here we have Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump in the past 12 years. As you can see, the interest has really spiked over the past few years, with the biggest spike occurring around November 8th, which was the election this year. And I would just like to note that these trends signify the popularity of the search term and not necessarily the popularity of the thing itself. Here's another example. Here we have curling versus gymnastics, and as you can tell, the popularity in curling spikes every time the Winter Olympics occurs, whereas with gymnastics, the popularity spikes during the Summer Olympics. Here are some limitations that we faced over the past month. So we have had to deal with relative frequency of terms. Google Trends ranks each term's popularity on a scale from 1 to 100, 100 being that specific term's most popular point. So each term is rated on a different scale. So we need to account for that. There is a way around this where you can compare 5 at a time, adjusting for the scale, but it is only 5 at a time, which limited the groups that we could come up with. We also had an issue with words taking on multiple meanings. For example, the word basic is both a slang term and a term that's used in everyday language, and same with the dab, it's both a dance move and a movement. And then another issue is that trends only date back to 2004, just because that's how old Google Analytics and Google Trends is. So they only have the information from 2004, so we couldn't really use slang words from the 70s or 80s, which would have been fun as well. So here are the two styles. We chose to represent our information with both a bubble diagram and a line chart. As far as the bubble goes, it provides a broader overview of the words, so less detail. We only have a year-by-year view only. We don't have the monthly information. And it compares words at a given time, so it's really great for providing us with a snapshot. Whereas with a line, it's a more detailed view, and we do have month-by-month data, so you can really see the trends over time. And with that, it's more helpful to compare a bunch at once. So I'm now going to take you through a live demo of our visualization. So here we have a bubble view on top. You can choose a category here. Here's a list of categories of terms that are grouped either because they are synonyms or they're just in the same category, so we can compare words that are really closely related. For example, we have one section called laughter, so these are different words that represent laughter. One is lolcats, ROFL, and LMAO, and as you can see here, when you hover over a term, a bit of text will pop up explaining what that term is. Down here we have a scroll bar that can take us through the year. So Here we're going to start at 2004, and we're going to increase the year. And as you can see, around the year 2007, lolcats explodes, while the other two terms seem to be increasing at a bit slower of a pace, and then eventually they all even out a little bit. Further down, you can see that we are presented with a line view of the same three terms. So this is going to be the line graph where you can see the general trends of the three terms compared to each other over time. So it's a continuous graph. Scrolling back up, we will choose another category. We will choose dance moves. So here we're presented with 5 different dance moves. And as we scroll through time, there are a lot of quick bursts in this visualization because each dance move is really a fad and it explodes whenever it becomes viral or it becomes popular. So we really get to see the nice burst of color. As you can see, dab has been around this whole time because, as I mentioned earlier, it is a word used in everyday conversation, but it exploded in 2016 because of a fad dance craze. So it's really interesting to see them compared to each other. That's the sort of snapshot, and here further down we're presented with the line graph view, which is a continuous comparison. Scrolling back up, we can see all of the other categories. This time we will choose party terms. We're presented with turn up, turnt, lit, and faded. So we are going to explore this visualization as well. And here you can see turn up and faded become popular, and lit faded in 2016 really gained a lot of traction, and you can see a quick burst there as well. So it's interesting to see which words gradually increase over time or which words really come into popularity because of a sudden craze. So you can experiment with all of these different categories. Here are some derogatory terms for women. You can see shouty increases there. And then we have thought increasing there. And whenever you choose a new category, it will update in bubble view and inline view at the same time. And it's just nice to have the two on the same page so you can easily compare and reference the two different visualizations. Thank you so much for watching our presentation. I hope you enjoyed.